I'm so happy you're here today.
Hi, this is a bucket list thing for me in New York City.
To be on the Stoop?
Absolutely, and I fangirl over you, follow you on Instagram, so this is like...
Yes, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
Let's chat.
We have so much to talk about because you're doing so much, and I think it's important that we show love to incredible women who are making it happen out here.
Thank you. So right now, for the last 14, 15 months, I work 6 days a week. I have 7-year-old twins and a 10-year-old at home.
Bless
so 3
your heart.
kids at home. I do the 3rd hour of the Today Show, depending on where you live, what city. I anchor the Saturday show of the Today Show. I do a serious radio show with Al Roker and Dylan Dreyer on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. It's called Off the Rails. And I have a digital series where I interview moms of celebrities that I love. So I read Steph was at a big middle school game. And he didn't do his chores the night before. And he didn't get to play that first game. Is that that's true?
That is absolutely true.
I love the vibe. I'm gonna be
love
honest.
it. Like Steph Curry's mom was my very first mom. And then I did the Wahlberg's mom.
That's awesome.
That was fun. The Venus and Serena's mom. Matthew McConaughey's mom was a hoot. Okay?
Really?
Oh my gosh. I think she's in her 90s. Like she is. I was like, I'm gonna be like you. And so that's the thing. I just keep calling these folks, and I'm hoping that it picks up because I've learned so much from them.
Do you remember how old you were when you knew this is what you wanted to do? When you caught the bug?
It was 5th grade. It was a career day. My teacher, Ms. James, 5th grade, had all the kids draw a picture of what they wanted to be. And it was a yellow sheet of construction paper. I drew the helmet hair, hoop earrings. I did a little box by my head with the little wiggly lines. Yeah, and I was like, that's what I want to do. And what you think about, you bring about. And I'm so grateful that I had parents who were like, you want to do that? Okay. There was one African-American female that we knew in news where I grew up in Wichita, Kansas. They called her, and Cassandra Fleming pulled me in. And the other woman, she worked at the front desk of a CBS affiliate, and she worked at my church, and she was the secretary at that news affiliate. My grandmother called, she was like, I need you to help me get my grandbaby in there. And so I would go after cheerleading practice in my cheerleading skirt. I'd run teleprompter. I mean, I was always in the newsroom. Like, I would take their scripts, and then I would go home and like practice reading them in a tape recorder.
Really?
Yeah. It's all coming full circle. Like Halloween, when I was Janet Jackson for Halloween.
Yes.
And they surprised me with a video from Janet. Like,
that's amazing.
That's amazing. Because I went from like, so I'm on that news, this is what I want to do, and then dancing in my basement back in the day. Like it was like it all came together.
Does it feel real?
Sometimes no.
Right.
Like that moment, no.
Right.
It was like out of body.
Right.
But I'm dancing to Janet Jackson in the rain, and then she says, that was amazing. Thanks, Sheinelle. I was like, did she say my name? She didn't even say
You're like, rewind
Sheinelle.
it.
She said Sheinelle.
Rewind it. Let me hear it again.
Take a look at this.
Oh, man.
Well, thank you so much for thinking of me. Happy Halloween.
She knows I exist, even just for a moment.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's not lost to me.
When a young girl, young boy comes up to you and says, hey, I'm inspired, I want to do what you do, what's the best piece of advice you would give them this day and age?
I would say to be curious, to read, ask questions, and to be kind.
That's so
There
important.
are people who, they can read right through it if you're coming up to them. I want to be on TV. It's like, how are you doing? Like, ask them how they're doing. Like, and you'd be surprised. Like, my back in high school was the secretary.
Really?
At the news affiliate.
Right.
Because she went to my church.
We're getting ready for the top of the year. Black History Month is upon us. What does Black History Month mean for you?
Ooh. It's so interesting. So my mom is a drama teacher. So I grew up memorizing like Black history facts, and she would dress up as Harriet Tubman, like all these things, right? And then the older I get, the more I realize that in addition to all of the trailblazers, the Rosa Parks and the Martin Luther Kings that we learn about, there are trailblazers in cities every day, and people you'll never know their name, right? So I did a story with my grandfather a few years ago. He was a doctor when I grew up there. His grandfather was a doctor, right? They both went to Howard Med. And I'm like, people in my city know my grandfather. And his father delivered all these babies, but people here may not know. But those are the people who help us to continue to push forward. People in St. Louis that you've never met, people in Des Moines, somebody in Nashville right now, somebody's great-grandpa in Memphis. Like, there are people all over this country who are pushing us forward and have been for decades, and you'll never know their name. For me, this Black History Month, those are the people I want to remember. The names that you may not know in the history book that got us here. The woman who got that internship for me, she's part of Black history for me. The one woman I used to look up on, I used to watch because we didn't have any in my hometown for a long time. There was a woman named Allison Payne. She was on the Chicago station, and I would get the Chicago station. So I would wait at 9 o'clock. My mom would let me stay awake so I could see her. So, because I was like, oh, she could do it, maybe I could do it. Yeah. The fact that I could only find one, and now fast forward, there are little girls who say, I wore purple today because you were purple. It's just, gives me chills just talking about it.
Yeah, me too.
It's not lost to me at all. And I think as long as I can keep that perspective, then the days that are stressful or the days where I feel like this person is coming or that person is coming, that does not matter.
Right.
And you know what else I think is important for all of us? To look at the friends that you surround yourself with and look at the friends that your kids surround, you know, so like if you're, you know, white, let's say, and all your kids' friends are white, try to find other friends and learn about each other, right? Let's, I think it matters, and it starts when they're young.
Exchanging information is critical. Sharing that. Man, listen, Sheinelle, we could talk all day.
I'm telling you,
I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you so much for everything that you do.
Thank you.
Give the kids a hug.